Just before we do jump into today's beginner's guide for Ultimate Alliance 3, I want to say big thanks for all the support that was left on the Magneto video. If you want to offer the same amount of support on this video and leave a huge amount of likes as you did in that one, then I'm not going to argue against that at all. Now for this video anyway, character that won the recent poll I put up, so it is Deadpool. Now in the video we'll start off with an overview where we check out his stats, we'll then look at his abilities, next up it's his team bonuses, we then have his synergy attack guide. We then look at the build options available, and this includes the best ice weight to place on him. We have alternative costume, and we've got quite a few of them for Deadpool, and then we finish up with a quick summary. So let's jump in and start off with the overview. Deadpool is a character then that has possibly the strongest combination of hero traits in the game, so he should be exceptionally strong, but I can't help but feel the clunkiness of his abilities holds him back a little bit, and when we get to the abilities section we'll actually talk about that a lot more. Now when we do look at them, the tags he's got on them, he's got some projectile tags there, he's got some piercing and he's got some energy, which normally makes it hard to itemise, but due to his hero trait you can still get a real nice amount of damage out of him. Now hero trait wise, we'll start off with the top one, which is healing factor. So he heals 0.5% every half second, so essentially it's 1% every second. He also has teleport, this is really nice for avoiding damage, and if he's the last character in a team, the fact he can teleport about while regaining health can be exceptionally good for getting yourself back in the game. When we talked about his mixture of tags, it doesn't matter because you can apply an element to his swords and his guns, so you can apply fire, ice or shock there, so that is really nice. His stats are, I would say they're average. His strength is B, vitality is a C, mastery is a C, resilience is a C, durability is a B, and then energy is a C as well there. So as mentioned, on paper when you look at him he does look to be really nice, but when we get to the abilities I can't help but feel he does fall down a little bit, so let's actually look at them in more detail. The first ability we look at here is the first one you actually unlock with him, so this is called Slice and Dice. So you can teleport up to an enemy and you'll hack away on them. If you actually tap this button you can dash between lots of different enemies teleporting. It's actually nice as a gap closer if you need to get in the enemy's face to start using some melee attacks, so in that respect it is nice, but I find it doesn't really do a huge amount of damage for how much energy it actually consumes. The next ability we have here is Eat Lead, and this is one that I definitely did find useful. On a lot of occasions in my first playthrough I would hold back, use this to pull down the health on a boss, and I'd actually be regaining health via his regen as well. Now it's a nice ability but it's not without its faults, so the biggest fault on this really is the targeting. On a lot of occasions I'd be trying to attack a boss and I'd shoot away off to the left of them, I'd then readjust and I'd end up shooting off to the right, and even if I was to assign an auto target to the boss, you can do that by clicking the right thumbstick, I would still find that in a lot of occasions I would actually miss. So to make the most out of this, try and pair him up with a character that can turn the synergy trait rapid fire into a ricochet, and then that way you don't have to worry about it missing because you'll be spraying the entire screen with bullets. This next ability here is your trash clearers. This one's called Make It Rain. Now if there's a big group of trash, what you can do is use Slice and Dice to teleport right into the middle of them and then use Make It Rain to blow them all up. It actually looks pretty great and it's a nice fun ability to use as well. The final ability we have here is a bit of a tongue twister. I believe this is called Katanamara, if that's how you say it. Now this is your primary stagger skill, so with this you can see the stagger rating is up at A on it and it will absolutely melt the stagger gauge on elites and bosses. The problem with it though, like the Eat Lead skill, is the targeting on it. A lot of times when you actually cast this you'll sit past the enemy and then you need to work your way back again, and this actually applies to his heavy attack as well. He'll leap forward when he does it, and because he is primarily a melee character you then need to get back into position to do damage again. So it's a mixture of skills like this that I do feel definitely hold him back. To an extent, his ultimate you have to be careful about the targeting on it as well, because if the enemy's just not the right distance away from you then you won't be doing the most amount of damage on him. But that's all his abilities anyway, so let's now have a look at the team bonuses that are available. For the team bonus section, we've got the new setup here, but if you want to have a look at the previous setup where we broke it all down into percentages and you could filter it, there's a link to the actual spreadsheet in the description in this video. But for this one here, you can see he's part of 6 different teams. So it's X-Men, Villains, Anti-Heroes, X-Force, Cutting Edge, and also Wisecracking Warriors. Now there's quite a fair bit of overlap here. The best character to run him with would be Wolverine. You can see he's in 4 different teams, so you can get a lot of bonuses from that. You then have Psylocke and Nightcrawler and also Magneto, and they are in 3 different teams, so they can give you a fair amount of bonuses as well. There's quite a few other characters at 2 as well, but really the ones at 4 and 3 are the ones you want to focus on if you're trying to make the most of the stats you can get via team bonuses. Now, next section will be the synergies. When it comes to synergy attacks, on occasion it can be difficult to get these with Wolverine just due to the actual synergy traits he's got aren't ones that can generate a great deal of attacks, and he's actually the 4th lowest character in the game in regards to the total number of synergy attacks that he can do. Now the synergy traits he has, it's explosive, charge and also rapid fire. Probably the most useful one would be rapid fire because that in turn can give you ricochet. The top 5 characters that he synergizes with, it's Ghost Rider, Thor, Star-Lord, Colossus and Crystal. So the bottom 5, and these are characters you want to avoid if you're doing an Infinity Trial where you need to get a set amount of synergy damage. It's Spider-Man, Nightcrawler, Cyclops, Thanos and also Scarlet Witch as well there. So that's all the synergies. Let's now have a look at the build options available. Deadpool then, due to the fact he can actually add an element to his weapons, he's really nice and easy to build for, and you can really push his damage numbers pretty high. Now, it's a damage build we're going for, of course, so you want to start off with adding the shock ability attribute to the user. From there you want to increase the damage of shock attacks by 24.9. Because when an enemy is actually electrocuted, then every attack on them will be an automatic crit. We don't add crit into his build at all. Now, until you do get the shock ability attribute, then what you want to do is you want to just go for flat damage. That's 16.5%, so it applies to all these attacks. And you also want to add on the crit chance because you won't be stunning targets as often without that shock element. So you go for that as well, and that will increase crit by 8%. But ideally you are aiming towards getting an element on them, and then from there you can have a whole lot of fun. Now that's the build option. Let's have a look at the alternative costumes. Deadpool then currently has the most costumes in the game. He's actually got 4 alone, the majority of them are just simple recolours. Now the one we're looking at the moment is a simple recolouring, but thanks to the colours I've used, it matches his X-Force costume, so I actually really like this one. Now this is unlocked via his Infinity Trial in the Lambda Rift, where you have to go up against Juggernaut. Just make sure you teleport about a fair amount, and when Juggernaut smashes off the walls and stuns himself, then let rip on him, and you really shouldn't have any trouble with this. But this is his first alternative costume. Let's check out the next one. The next one we have here, and this is the chef costume. So this particular one I'm showing off is the one I got from pre-ordering the game, but if you get all 69 stars in the final rift before the new one came out with the Cyclops and Colossus DLC, that's the Omega Rift, then you unlock a different coloured variant of this one as well, and it is pretty fun. It's a nice silly costume. I would like to see in time hopefully the Deadpool kid costume from Marvel Heroes, and in that way they could change up his weapons and have him using revolvers and so on. That would be really nice. Even let me know in the comments below what costume you would like to see next for him. So with the costumes covered, let's just finish up now with a quick summary. Deadpool is a character then that did get me through the majority of my playthrough the first time, and his health regen and his teleporter and his lead skill really did help me out a ton, but it was after that point when I started to run other modes where I had to be a bit more efficient in my farming and the enemies were a bit harder that he fell away a little bit. The regen simply wasn't enough to sustain him, and his moves were just a little bit clunky. Now, saying all that, he's a character that has the potential to be exceptionally good, and I imagine if anyone puts enough time into him, if you're a real huge Deadpool fan, you spend a lot of time learning about his abilities and how to get the most out of them, I imagine he could be an absolute beast. He's probably the equivalent of what I would say is an advanced class character in the game, and that you're going to have to put a lot of work to get a lot out of him. He's not like Miss Marvel where you can just spam one button, for example. Now let me know in the comments below if you are running Deadpool, how you're getting on with him, if you agree that his skills are clunky, or is it just simply a fact that I'm a noob and I don't know how to use them correctly. But let me know in the comments below, and as always, I hope the video has been helpful. Take the time to hit the like and the share button, because it helps a lot, because YouTube doesn't really recommend my content much. And thanks for tuning in once again, and I'll see you all again soon.